And welcome to the CSS podcast. I am your host, Dave Wolferston. The other host right there in the middle of your screen is Charlie Crawley. We are without Sam, our third host tonight. He sends his condolences, but he will be back on Sunday with us as we do the next one. But this is episode number 78, and we titled this Start, Bench, or Cut. So for our topic of the week, we will be diving into some people who we should start, bench, or cut. But until we do, before we get into that, Crawley, how was your week?
It was fun. Nothing out of the ordinary. Had some hints of spring with the weather, which is made it nice. We got the mid 70s yesterday and mid 70s and sun. Got a little rain today, but so the fact that we hit March, and it's crazy that it actually already is March. But it also means that better weather, better times, warmer, all that good stuff's coming.
That is true. It's like 23 days until opening day. So that's right around the corner.
Yep. And we're both going.
Yes, we are both going. You finally got through.
Yeah, you saw me in action.
The ordeal. Yes, I saw them in action. The ordeal. I don't know, but the Reds. This might be a good platform here, Crawley, to voice your displeasure with the Reds ticketing session there. Because
my issue was that I was hoping they would just tell me if there was no tickets available. Just tell me flat out no tickets available, but I guess there still was. I just hadn't hit the right combination. So
yeah, you had to find the right
whack-a-mole.
Right
Let's tell you what I was doing, whack-a-mole.
Yep.
Try this combination. Nope, didn't work. Another combination. Nope, didn't work.
But he finally got it. So Wednesday night ball game. Then you got in August.
That's right.
So then you got the opening day tickets. So yeah, we'll
be
down there.
I'd better bring some tissues with me to the opening day because my nose may be bleeding where my seats are. So.
Just don't be dripping on me, all right? Because
right over
right over the edge there.
Of course, it's a ways for me to get down to be able to see over the.
Yeah, that is true.
The end there for you.
But you are in the stadium, and that's what matters. So it'll be my first opening day ever, which is kind of shocking if you think about it. But just never had the opportunity to get down there because usually it was in April. I was in school and over in Indiana, and then just playing baseball myself, and didn't want to miss my game for the Reds game. So and just life circumstances never made it down to the ballpark on opening day, but so it'll be my first one, and I'm excited to get down there and see the festivities and see us start out the year 1-0 to start the season. Speaking of 1-0, let's go to the Bearcats here. As the season is winding down, they have a game tonight against is it Oklahoma, right?
Yep.
And I think we're not gonna recap what they did last week, but I think looking forward here, they got 2 games left, and then the Big 12 tournament. And I know we were looking at are they in? Are they out? Are they on the bubble? First 4 in, first 4 out, last 4 in, whatever you want to call it. And we checked some people that are smarter than us in figuring that stuff out, and they didn't have them in. Now, on Twitter today, there was a couple of people that said, UC, if they win 4 games, they're a lock. If they win 3, that's probably like the last 4 in. If they win 2, they're probably on the bubble. And if they win only 1, they're NIT bound. So what do you think? I mean, let's just talk, what do they have to do to get in your opinion there, Charlie?
Yeah. I mean, I agree with everything wherever you just saw that, like yeah, 3 wins in a
I
row.
think it was. I actually think it was like Barstool Cincinnati Bearcat or something like that.
Yeah.
Made the comment. So
Yeah, 3 wins puts them at if they win the last 2 regular season, they're 8-10 in the regular season. If they win another game, it puts them at in a sense 9-10 in the Big 12 with some good quad 1 wins. Because if they win tonight, that's a quad 1 win on the road against Oklahoma. I think that gives them like 4 on the road conference wins, if I'm not mistaken. So I think they can make a case at 9-10. Now they go to 9-11 because if they lost the following week or the following game, they'd be 9-11 in a sense. But 9 very good wins, and in the toughest conference in the country. I mean, they would at least, I think, would have to show up on at least that, first 4 out or, those kind of things to see, very much on the bubble. 4 wins, I gotta think they would be in, because that puts them in the, I guess, final 8 of the conference tournament if they got 2 wins.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, not final 4 yet, probably, because they're going to be coming from the back, So if they win 2 more games, they might be able to avoid the first round is like the 11 seed versus the 14 seed, and 12 plays 13. I think right now UC's 11. So if I would guess if they win these next 2 games, it might jump somebody. It would help them to get out of that, because that win probably ain't going to do much, beating West Virginia again or Oklahoma State or something. So they need to get to that next round where they're playing Oklahoma or TCU or somebody like that. Just not Houston. Anybody but Houston. Of course, they looked better against Houston than they did Iowa State. So when they played them, but yeah, I could see that. I think if they go 4 wins for sure, they're in. Would I put any money on them doing that? No. I mean, they just haven't been able to put it all together consistently enough, and to win 4 games all of a sudden now, I mean, that would be out of character. And I already saw they're missing Victor Locken. He's in a boot, just mysterious again.
And they were saying Dan
Skillings might be. He missed the last game, but they said he was practicing yesterday or something. So I guess we'll find out once the lineup comes out or whatever. But again, Victor Locken, who played his best game in weeks in the last game, again, he's out, so in a boot somewhere. And CJ Frederick, of course, is just a ghost. So, so he's been back out again, played those couple games, kind of, and so until they can get get that inconsistency and ironed out kind of stuff, then we're going to be, at least this year, going to be in the same position.
Yeah. So I think 2 is going to put them right there on that bubble. If they make a deep run and conference championship, can upset at least somebody higher up. The way the tournament selection committee goes and favors the Big 12. UC's non-conference schedule is it's not great. So if they're comparing, that versus somebody else like a St. John's, because that's the team that everybody's, saying UC has to overcome. That's probably where they would get left out just because of that non-con schedule. So, the other team in town, this will probably be the last time we talk about them. Unfortunately for you Xavier fans, we
I don't make the NIT.
They might make the end. Yeah, they'll make the NIT, but I don't think I'm going to be spending a whole lot of time talking about them on the NIT. Sorry, Hubs. I know you're a fan of the show and you've been a guest of the show, but just can't do it. They've got Butler and Marquette. I know Marquette's without their second leading scorer. They're good guard. So they have a shot there. That would be like 4 wins in a row if they can pull these off. Now the Georgetown game wasn't very pretty. They had to come back from deficit and win, but 4 games. get that momentum rolling for the NIT, and Sean can try to mold this group a little more. Any thoughts on Xavier before we move on?
Yeah, I mean, just we said it a little, a few times already. Just I think Sean Miller and the coaching staff had a monumental challenge in front of you, and you're literally running out an entire new team. That's not. I mean, UC is a pretty new team, but nothing compared to Xavier. I mean, they have one returning player from last year, and he was a freshman last year. So, I mean, that's your new team. So, to play in the Big East, be competitive. I mean, Xavier fans. I mean, I know their expectations are we're making the tournament, and we always do. So, I understand why you'd have those expectations. And so, but how many teams have literally a brand new team where every single player? Is there another team in the country that even has that? I'd be
shocked. Yeah, I would be too.
So yeah, they were trying to go uphill from the very beginning. They haven't come together as well. They've had a couple guys step up, the Oliveri kid and the McKnight, right? Was one of them, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
He's been playing pretty well. So they just haven't had enough of them step up, though. They're all coming. The thing about transfers, at a Xavier level, even at a UC level, you're not getting transfers from Duke. You're not getting transfers from Houston. You're getting transfers from Rice and Utah State, and these guys are good, for that level. But they step up to Big East and Big 12. I mean, that's a whole different challenge. So, especially for your first year doing it. Maybe got to get acclimated to it and stuff. So yeah, they were gonna have a difficult time from the beginning. I think expectations were probably too high for them from the fan base, but I would guess that they won't be out of the tournament real long.
Probably not. And speaking of the tournament,
unless Sean Miller goes to Ohio State,
unless he goes to Ohio State. And then Thad Matta can come back, from Butler over to Xavier. We'll just recycle them again.
Chris Mack is still out there.
Chris Mack, yeah. Chris Mack is out there. Yeah. But speaking of the tournament, I know there's been some chatter out there about expanding the March Madness tournament from 68 to maybe 72, 96. I think 60. I liked it at 64, but I understand the playing games. But 68, I don't think they should, because
they will.
If they do, it's UC and Xavier are in. That's who we're not getting the some of these MAC schools. We're not going to get in some of these Atlantic 10 Sun Belt schools that could be the true Cinderellas. They're still only going to get their one AQ, and we're looking at the 12th team in the Big 12 and the 10th and 11th and 12th teams in the Big 10, and the 7th seed in the ACC. I mean, do we really want to watch that for an extra round? I don't, but it's all about the dollar. Follow the dollars, and then
right.
you'll get the thing, because football expanding now, so basketball needs to expand, and the way the conferences are aligning, it's like we've got to have more than seven schools from the Big 12, because we have 14 and we're the best conference. And that's the argument the SEC says for football, and we need more because we're the best conference. And sometimes more is not better, a better product. I like the 68. So you guys got thoughts out there in TV land, just let us know. You can shoot us an email or a what do you want to call it, a direct message on Instagram or Facebook at Cincy Sports Scene, or if you're watching us live here on YouTube, you can put it in the comments. So what were you going to say, Charlie?
I was going to say, I know it's going to expand. I mean, the college football playoffs already expanded to 14. They haven't even played one season yet of the 12.
Well, they're talking about it.
It's happening. There's no talking. That's happening. So
well, they're talking, but
the NFL is going to 18 games in the next few years too. So, the money's going to win out and everything. NFL, 32 teams, 16 games. Perfect. Everything that numbers work out perfectly. NCAA tournament, 64 teams, perfect brackets. College football, 12 teams. Let's let it run for a while. Do we really need a 13th and a 14th team in there? No. But it's we don't need these conferences the way they are. I mean, anything that is good, makes common sense when it comes to how college sports, especially football, but even basketball, is going to lose out too if they can make a little bit more money. I mean, it's just a joke. Stanford and NC State are in the same conference. I mean, it's a joke. Like, I don't know how they just. If I was, if I had a national talk show, I would just make fun of it all the time because it's ridiculous.
Hey, we do have a national talk show. Let's just make fun of it all the time.
Okay, yes, please do. Put that on the agenda every single week because it's just ridiculous. But it is what it is, and I don't know how sustainable it is. I don't think college football is going to be college football in the next. Eventually, I think it's just going to be its own. It's going to be its own thing, and it'll be disconnected from anything, right? Anything that we care about, other than if you're an individual school that can. That SEC or Big Ten, even most of those schools. I mean, Rutgers, nobody's still going to care about Rutgers. No one's going to care about, Washington's probably just going to go down several levels and stuff. So it's just because you're in either of those two conferences doesn't mean you're going to be careful. Or Vanderbilt in football, I mean, who cares? I mean, no one cares about that.
Nope, they're taking the check for the losses, right? So they're getting those $50-60 million checks, and they're taking their
in college basketball, the regular season is so devalued. I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, all I care about is the tournament. We were talking before the conference, the conference schedule even started about whether UC and Xavier had a chance to make the tournament. I mean, we were already talking about that because that's all that matters. So we can name UC and Xavier players. I can barely name Xavier players, but I can name UC because I am invested and I follow it. But can you name any other school beside Purdue for you? Like legitimate players for them? No. I mean, the men's college basketball has become almost a joke.
Caitlin Clark, I can name her.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Caitlin Clark's played for 4 years.
Right. Yeah.
So that's another thing. I mean, that's where college, at least college football, you at least know the players. I mean, other than the transfers, going all over the place, but at least they have to stay there. You get a sense of like, oh yeah, I got this 3-year starter at quarterback. I mean, Caleb Williams transferred. That wasn't a good thing. All the top quarterbacks.
The top. Yeah.
But
exactly.
but I'm just saying it's just all, and I'm not a tradition guy. Like for me, it's not about. Well, traditionally, the Rose Bowl has to be the Big Ten and the Pac-12, whatever. Or who cares? No, I don't give a crap about that. But I do care about common sense and like what just what makes sense when it comes to watching my sports. And the fact I'm not going to care about it, but somebody's got to care about Stanford at NC State for the ACC on a Tuesday night against Maction too.
Yeah,
so
Maction might win out on that. But
I know it might. Just saying,
but
just forget it all.
Yeah,
just have no regular season, football or basketball. Have no regular season. Just football's easy. Football's easy. Yeah, you just have everybody in the tournament.
Yep. So
there we go.
Blind draw. There we go. You heard it here first.
That's right.
Just pull them out of the hat, and it's it'll be Cal versus Bama, round 1. Let's go. Played at Cal Stadium. That wouldn't be good. But all right, we're going to move on. Bengals. On the agenda, put a hat. Any news? Well, there's some. I mean, do we want a little peaches and herbs scene? A little reunited coming back our way with CJ Umazana or Hayden Hurst as tight end? I mean,
great.
You know, I
Retreads.
mean, retreads at left and faltered, and does the magic of Burrow's right arm make them a legitimate choice? I don't think CJ, because I mean he badmouthed the franchise and badmouthed Burrow. I don't think Hugh would be welcome back. But Hayden Hurst, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I liked Hayden Hurst that year he was here. I mean, he definitely was the kind of tight end that Burrow used. Like, showed that if you have pass catching ability, then I can use you. I mean, he elevated CJ Azama. You see what CJ Azama did in a situation where he wasn't in a very quarterback friendly situation. I mean, what's he done over the last couple of years? I mean, I didn't even remember he even played anymore. So, Hayden Hurst went through, it must have been a serious concussion last year. I think he missed the whole second half of the season. So I would be okay with that. But again, just the 1 year stopgap kind of thing. Like, I still want them drafting him again. If Brock Bowers is there sitting number one, I'm pro Brock Bowers. If not him, then I want to see him, third round or something, drafting a legitimate, potential pass catching tight end kind of thing. So.
Yep. All right. Reds weekly update here for spring training. Any thoughts? I know the Arms had a little hiccup as far as Hunter Green and Frankie Montez had a little, I wouldn't say a rough outing, but they gave up a little more runs than you would like to see in a spring training game, but it is spring training and they're working on stuff. And so, when you're trying to work on stuff in that desert air, sometimes, your curveball or if you're trying to get the ball to do some things, then it doesn't move like it would here in the summer in Cincinnati. And overall, I think we're doing okay.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see how it kind of all plays out. I try to stay pretty level headed when it comes to spring training stats, especially this early. I mean, last year, what's his name was our MVP at the beginning of the year, the first base Vossler. Was the MVP, and
Jason Vossler.
Yeah, and we came out with Luis Sessa and Overton as our starters, as two actual starters. I mean, come on. So the fact that I don't have to deal with that this year is what I'm happy about. No Vossler, no, the 4 and 5 starters are going to be legitimate Major League starters. I mean, the Ladola news. I mean, you have that news.
Yeah,
they haven't really reported anything for the last couple of days that I've seen. But it's a little bit to me like last year. It's part of why when we ranked the Reds and a few weeks ago, I put Ladola lower than I think all you guys did because I just don't trust him. He's got to show me some. You got to be able to just go out and pitch, not let alone any, whatever. So I just until he can get on the mound, consecutive starts, the big league hitters, then I'm not living on a hope. That hope he can do it. That was the Reds last year, the season of hope, and most of those hopes didn't play out. So I don't want that this year. I want legitimate players. Get Will Benson in there batting against left-handers in spring training, give him a legitimate shot.
He did. He had a double and a home run against him. So yeah.
Well, but he's going to bat about 900 against lefties for Twinkle Toes, whatever you're calling them, the Tinkerbell. Yeah, Tinkerbell to be willing to bat him against left-handers because the back of the baseball card.
You mean this guy right here, Tinkerbell?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Twinkle Toes. So yeah, so that's what I care about when it comes to the spring training. Yep.
They just got to produce when it counts, and I think if you watched or listened to them, it was one of those things where they're being aggressive on the base paths early. Will Benson, when he hit that triple, all out, and that's the kind of team that they want to be, and I think that's the kind of team that the fans really enjoy supporting here in Cincinnati. All right, moving on. We do have a little FCC news, and our correspondent Sam's not around, so I'm going to have to, turn it over to Crawley here to talk about FC's week.
Yeah, good week. They won their tournament or CONCACAF tournament against the Jamaican team, Cavalier. Won the second leg first and second leg. So they've moved on and they have a big game on Thursday against FC Monterey, which just happens to be the club that Brandon Vasquez went to. So, it's almost like somebody did that, like in the scheduling or whatever. We need Sam for conspiracy or something there, with that. So, the fact that of all the Mexican teams that FC Cincinnati could have been paired up with, somehow it's Monterey. That's the team that they deal with. And Monterey is a good team. They're one of the top Mexican teams in the Mexican League. So, it'll be tough. They need to get have a good game on Thursday, get up a few goals, because then they got to go back to Monterey sometime after that. And then they take the two scores and put them together, and who gets the, has the biggest goal differential, and there's about 1,000 tiebreakers and all that stuff. But so they need a good game. I'm sure the fans will honor Vasquez. I would hope they would. He had a really good run here, was with them when they were in the dregs of the league, and took them up to Supporter Shield. So he's not, hope they, and it sounds like, just the things I'm hearing, they're going to, be on good behavior with him. So that's the tournament. And then they have the regular season going on already. They will beat Chicago on Saturday at Chicago. So good win, because they, even as successful as they were last year, they had a draw with Chicago at their place. So they beat them this year. So that's a plus. They just acquired DeAndre Yedlin, who's a longtime U.S. men's national team player. Was playing for Miami. Miami, just a little bit of things I read, sounds like they were cheating the salary cap system and, cheating. This legitimately Sam could talk about. But because of with all the Messi and all those guys he's bringing in, they kind of turned a blind eye to him. But it sounds like the league went to Miami and said, we're going to give you a little out. We're going to, be a little lenient with you, but you got to get rid of some of these people. Like, we can't stick up for you for the whole season, or else the rest of the league ain't going to deal with it. So they got Yedlin for money, like just some cash kind of thing. So they didn't have to give up any of the young players or nothing. So this is, he's exactly what they need from a position standpoint. He plays right wing back, and they didn't have one because they lost the guy that was there last year. So from a position standpoint, from experience, from some talent, I mean, it's a win-win-win. He's not as good as he was. I mean, he's 32, 33 years old. So something like that, lose a step. But I mean, facing Miami, I mean, those guys are almost in retirement homes at this point. Some of the guys that they're bringing in. So it's been a good week. Been a very good week for FC Cincinnati.
Now, I did read that because they're in this challenger or whatever you want to call it thing,
CONCACAF tournament.
Yeah, they cannot be in the Open Cup or whatever that's called.
Yeah, the U.S. Open Cup, where they play all the divisions of U.S. soccer play in one big tournament.
Right. So they won't allow them to do both, apparently. But it is what it is. And with that, we are going to move on to our trivia. And Sam had the trivia last week. I think we got it correct, if I'm not mistaken. Don't know what it was, but I think we got it right, though. And then, so that brings Crawley with the trivia question. Hopefully it's not a 4-parter.
I do have a 3-parter, but I'm going to go with a 1-parter. I have 2 questions, but I'm going to go with the 1-parter.
3-parter.
That's a first.
The producer is here tonight, so
I heard him. Yeah, I know. Why isn't he on here? Well, he could join us as a host.
Yeah, he might. He has to hook up a microphone real quick.
Not just twiddling his thumbs or reading a book or something while he's doing whatever he does.
But he said if we play this game, it has to be in the 21st century. You can't have any players, before 2003.
Or if
All
they
mine
were
are.
before 2003,
All-
they have to
all
be the
mine
most
are.
famous people imaginable for me to even have a semblance of an idea.
Yep. All right. Go ahead with your trivia. Let's see if the producer can help me out here.
He's not going to be able to help you. You're going to get this without his help. So that's what I'm predicting.
Oh God, no pressure.
Okay, so your question simply is: there is only one player on the Reds roster, like the real Reds roster, and even the fake Red, all these guys that are going to be garbage men or whatever. I'm not counting that. You can even count them. But there's only one player on the Reds roster, probably the 40-man roster, who was managed by someone other than David Bell. Name him.
Only one?
Yep.
That's Candelaria.
Okay. That's
think you
okay.
should
Who's
go
been?
part.
Let me rephrase it. Who's
Okay.
been? Let me change the question. That's true.
Who's
It is
been
Ken.
with
It would be-
who's
been with the Reds?
That was very easy.
Who was with the Reds before David Bell was the manager?
There
Yes.
you go. I was going to say, man, you got Candelaria, Frankie Montez, you got Nick Martini. Yeah, that's a lot.
He was with the Reds prior to David Bell being the manager. So only
How
one
long
guy
was Bell
who was
the
managed
manager?
with the Reds by someone other than David Bell.
How long has Bell been the manager?
Well,
6 years?
check the back of the baseball card. David Bell, 2019, when he came aboard.
So this is going to be his 5th year then?
Yep. So somebody who was there 6 years. Wow, that's got me stumped here. I gotta go through my.
Is it a pitcher or a position player?
Do you want me to give you that?
No, I don't want to. No, I was going to say, I'm just, trying to go through. The only one who I just don't know when he came up was like Lucas Sims is who I'm thinking, but that's probably not right because I'm just thinking because Diaz, Buck Farmer, no. And just going around the infield. Because India was up here with Bell.
It wouldn't be Tyler Stevenson, would it?
No,
No.
because Tucker Barnhart was
Right,
here.
I couldn't remember when
Third
Stevenson-
base. That's Marte. Or the bench. I mean, like Stewie, no. I'm going to go with Lucas Sims.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Lucas Sims. Yep.
Lucas Sims.
He came in 2018.
2018. That's a good one. So, yeah, I was just trying to go through it and I could not figure it out. So, all right. So there you go. Lucas Sims has been here the longest. Wow. Who would have thought?
No. That's it. And he was traded during 2018. So
Right.
and he was only up for like with the Reds a cup of coffee.
Yeah. Where did he come from? Was he the Brewers?
Braves.
That's right. Who was he traded for?
I don't know, off the top of my head.
Oh, was it Adam Duvall?
Maybe. Yeah,
It might have been Duvall.
Yeah, who's still sitting out there, free agent.
Mm-hmm. We don't need a Adam Duvall. Well, we might, but all right, we are
right-handed outfielder.
Yeah, that is true. Yep.
Yeah, it was for Duvall.
It was for Duvall. Oh gosh, look at that. That was pretty good there.
Oh, good.
All righty. So So next week I will have the trivia question for us. If you want to play along, you can always, pause the recording, try to guess, and shoot us an answer on Instagram or Facebook at Cincy Sports Scene. If you're watching live on YouTube, or if you're watching this later on, not live but on replay, you can send us something in the chat, little comment section on that. And if you think you have a trivia question that could stump us, go ahead and let us know the same way via Instagram or Facebook at Cincy Sports Scene. All right, moving on. We got a little game that we wanted to play, and it was called Start, Bench, or Cut for our topic of the week. And what that is we are going to name 3 players, and each one of us are going to say who we're going to start, who we're going to bench, and who we're going to cut. So, like for the first example, we'll just give this example. Like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. Those are our 3. Who would you start? Who would you bench? And who would you cut in that scenario there, Crawley?
Jordan, who was it? Jordan,
Bryant, and James.
Well, I would start Jordan. I guess I would start Jordan, bench LeBron, and cut Kobe Bryant.
Woo! Yeah. I mean, LeBron just surpassed 40,000. So,
I know.
Nobody else in NBA history, Yeah, I think this would be a generational thing, right? Because I think you start Michael, and I don't know. I think I would bench Kobe and cut LeBron. Just me. All right.
This is where you need Sam.
Yeah, this is where we need Sam. Yeah,
he
he
would
would
start.
He would start LeBron or somebody else, but no.
Probably.
All right, so I'll let you go first. Give me one, and then we'll go back and forth, and we'll both share our who we're going to bench, who we're going to start, and who we're going to cut.
Okay. So I'll be honest. Some of them I didn't use players. I used something else.
Oh gosh. All right.
Yeah.
This could be fun.
Yeah. Leave it to Crawley to change
So
the rules.
I'll start with people. First one I'll give you is people,
Okay.
and I really need Sam for this one because I know exactly what you're going to say. But
Sam, if you're out there listening,
I'll still
chime
throw it
in.
out there. So again, start, bench, or cut: Zach Taylor, Pat Noonan, and David Bell.
Ooh, I think I would start Pat Noonan.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, I think I would.
Okay. I guess I didn't. I would never predict you to say the soccer guy you would have started.
Well, I mean, then Zach Taylor on the bench and David Bell I'd have to cut.
What?
Yeah.
Tinkerbell?
Tinkerbell, I would have to
He's
cut.
the star of our show.
I know. Like, bye, Birdie. Oh, see, look at that, upside down. He's floating. Help me. I'm gone. So. All right, who would you? What would be yours?
So you went Noonan and then you benched Zach Taylor and
Yep.
I might flip I love Pat Noonan, but I might flip Noonan and I don't know. The FC Cincinnati was a mess before he showed up. So
yeah,
because I was just thinking like Zach Taylor I do give him some crap sometimes, but I mean the Bengals were a freaking mess. And he does well with the culture club stuff. So I don't know. I might start Zach Taylor, bench Noonan, and cut Bell.
No, we agreed on Tinkerbell.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so I did all players.
Boring.
All right. Yeah, boring. Well, once I figure out what you're doing, then maybe I could piggyback. Like, you're going to start this pen or this pen, red, blue, or green. Who you starting? Who you benching?
You'll like the ones I'm going though.
Okay.
My goofy ones.
Okay, it'd probably be like some, Wendy's, McDonald's, or Chick-fil-A, right? Something like that.
There you go.
Who are you going first? All right, so we're going running backs. And I got like 2 sets of 3. But first one, Bo Jackson, Herschel Walker, or Earl Campbell?
Bo Jackson, Herschel Walker, Earl Campbell.
Yeah.
I'm going to start Earl Campbell, bench Bo Jackson, and cut Herschel Walker. And I'm thinking that I guess I'm factoring a lot of NFL with that. So
Yeah. This is all. Yeah, that was NFL for me. Yeah, I probably would flip. I would probably start Bo, bench Earl, and cut Herschel. That'd be tough.
yeah.
You have that 1-2 punch of, can you imagine getting ran over by Earl Campbell, and here comes Bo running at you as
Right,
well.
Brian Bosworth running backwards.
Yeah. All right. Next one for you.
Okay, so this is the battle of the young quarterback. So start, bench, or cut. CJ Stroud, Brock Purdy, Jordan Love.
Ooh. I think I would start Jordan Love, bench CJ Stroud, and cut Brock Purdy.
Man, I'm completely different than you on that one.
You're taking Purdy?
No, I would start CJ Stroud,
Okay.
bench Purdy, and cut Jordan Love.
I just think, coin flip either way, but I just think, they're both be good. All right. We'll go a little baseball action. How about, if I can find it. Let's go. How about Tony Gwynn, Ichiro, or Junior?
Like Griffey Jr.?
Yeah, Griffey Jr. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'll start Griffey Jr., bench Gwynn, and cut Ichiro.
Whoo. Yeah. I mean, that's. Yeah.
Well, Griffey
that's
Jr. is
probably-
just more better all around.
Yeah,
player
yeah,
than the other two,
yes,
so.
yeah. He is, and I mean, I'd go Griffey. Yeah, that'd probably be the same. I mean, but Ichiro, mercy. Yeah. All right, next one.
Okay. Ready for this one? Start
Okay,
bench or start bench or cut. Caton Clark, Zach Edey, or any other college basketball player.
Ooh. Well, I'm going to cut any other basketball player.
That's the easy one.
Yeah. Start or bench? Gosh. I think I would start Zach Edey, bench Caitlin Clark.
Oh, no way. No way. There's the Purdue bias coming through.
I thought about it, but Caitlin, yeah, I mean, Zach's, that's got to go with the 7'4" freak. Because Caitlin can pass the ball too, so she'd come off the bench, Yeah.
Okay.
Here, what are you doing, Caitlin?
Oh,
Zach?
yeah, definitely start
Yeah,
Caitlin Clark, bench
All right.
Edey, and
He's starting every
Cut.
other
cut any other college
basketball
basketball
player.
Yeah. All right, so here's one. Football wide receivers: Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, or Hill.
Tyreek.
Hill, yeah.
That's a tough one.
We are a Cincinnati Sports Scene
I know.
podcast. I did cut David Bell, but we had two other Cincinnati. We did have two other Cincinnati people.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one because you got the Bengals bias, but really out of the three, he's the least accomplished.
Rookie of the year, franchise record. Made it to a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, but so is Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
I'll start Tyreek Hill, bench Chase, and cut
Jefferson. I'm going to be the homer. I'm going to start Chase.
Of course you are. It's like exactly.
Cut Hill and keep Jefferson on the bench. So
you're going to cut Hill. Okay.
Yeah. I don't like Tyreek Hill. So he's off my team. Next fun one there, Crawley.
Okay. So do a little Reds pitching here. I left off Lindolo because I knew that you got to cut him.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use. Let's see what you think. Yeah. Okay. So Frankie Montas, Andrew Abbott, or Hunter Green.
You start Green, bench Abbott, cut Montas.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
so Montas proves himself a little bit more.
Yeah, because that shoulder could cut himself. So yeah. All right. Let's go basketball. We haven't done basketball.
I did.
The first one. Did you? Oh yeah, you did. Yeah.
I did every player.
So. That is true. You did. I forgot.
Now we're gonna name those every players.
All right, we'll go. Let's go. Allen Iverson, Isaiah Thomas, or John Stockton. The point guards.
I'm going Isaiah Thomas start, Iverson bench, and cut Stockton.
Mm-hmm. Now, according to Michael, Stockton made the dream team, right?
right.
Because Isaiah wasn't going to be on there. So nope. No, but I would probably start Isaiah, then Iverson coming off the bench, and then cut Stockton as well.
Yeah.
All right. How many more do you have?
2.
All right.
And neither are our players. So
that's fine. All right, let's do it.
And this is another one I needed Sam for. He would let's see. So if he surprised me again. So start, bench, or cut. The NCAA basketball tournament, the NFL playoffs, or the World Cup.
Oh. I got to start March Madness. I don't think there's anything better than the first 2 rounds. I'll take the World Cup as the bench and cut the NFL playoffs because it's more about the hype, the commercials and all that crap, not about the games anymore. So at least with the soccer, the fans are passionate and yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I definitely am cutting the NFL playoffs. And the World Cup and March Madness are my 2 favorite sporting events of anything. And I might say the March Madness just because it's every year. I would start it, whereas World Cup's every 4th year. But if you took that part of the equation, I would have World Cup start because I love the World Cup. My favorite month. It's only every 4 years though. So.
Yep. All right. So let's see here. I can come up with one like that. Let's see. All right. How about the Kentucky Derby, Indy 500, and the Masters?
3 things I don't care about. So
Well, I was trying to think of something else with the Derby.
it makes sense for I mean, for you, I mean, but
Derby.
this one's actually pretty easy for me, even though I don't care about really any of them. I care the most of the 3 about the Kentucky Derby. I've been to the Kentucky Derby, which makes it probably a little bit more cooler. So I'm starting the Kentucky Derby. I'm benching the Masters and cutting Indy 500. I care the least about auto racing.
Yeah, I've been to Indy. It's those cars come zipping around like just amazing how fast they go. But yeah, I would probably start Kentucky Derby, bench the Masters as well.
Really? I figured you would have started the Masters.
Nah, I'm a Derby guy. I love the Derby. So that's probably my favorite. One of my favorite sporting events.
Yeah. Okay.
Fastest 2 minutes in sports.
It's fun. I mean, definitely a cool 2 minutes, like kind of thing. So, okay. I need to come up with. I don't really like my last one. I need to come up. You got another one that you can throw at me? Well, I think.
I can throw.
Throw another one at me.
I will go. How about quarterbacks? Montana, Elway, Steve Young.
Just out of respect for the Bengals, I'm not going to start Montana. It's too traumatic. So I'm going to start Elway. I guess I'll put Montana on the bench. That would be fun to bench him. And then I'll cut Steve Young.
I would probably go, you can't have Montana starting and benching Young because then Young would overtake Montana eventually. So, I would go Montana, Elway, then Young as well. I would start Montana and then bench Elway. Just because
I would if not for the Bengals factor.
Bengals, yeah. I understand.
Yeah. Okay. So bench or cut. Little old school baseball, little old school Reds. Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, Joe Morgan. In their prime as Reds.
Yeah, I know. I would say
86 Rose. Johnny Bench at third base in 83 or whatever.
I would go start bench Morgan, cut Rose.
Yeah, I would agree. That's how I would have said it.
See, I was going to say bigger Cincinnati icons: Rose, Munoz, and then Oscar Robinson.
Yeah. Rose just has so much baggage to him. It's hard to. I don't know. I mean, he is an icon, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, anybody born.
I'd probably
before
say
1980s, it would be Rose, probably. But
I mean, Munoz is pretty big.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so I was kind of thinking start Munoz, bench Rose, and cut Robinson.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, as far as Cincinnati icons, I mean, Oscar's loved, but I think he's forgotten that he's from played here. So yeah, I would probably Munoz, Rose, and then cut Oscar.
I mean, without the bag, it should be Rose. Would be
Right.
the starter.
Hey, you got any more?
Nah, that was mine.
That was yours. All right. Let's see here. I'll go one more, and let's do. Let's go a little baseball pitchers. Let's go. How about Randy Johnson, Roger Clemens, or Pedro Martinez?
Randy Johnson, Roger Clemens, Pedro Martinez.
Yep.
Is that what you said? Man, that's tough. I'll start Pedro Martinez, bench Clemens, and cut Randy Johnson. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. Clemens was Martinez. Pedro was just he was a big game pitcher. Yeah, I probably would start Martinez, bench Randy Johnson, cut Clemens. Like that righty lefty combination. That way Tinkerbell can tinker with it. So
No, Tinkerbell's gone. You already
oh
cut
yeah, I
him.
did. I cut Tinkerbell.
You cut him.
But yeah, so all right. I got a couple more, but I'll give you one more to end on. How about Barry Sanders, Emmett Smith, Walter Payton?
I'm going to start Barry Sanders, bench Walter Payton, and cut Emmett Smith.
Cut Emmett Smith. I would probably start Payton, bench Sanders, cut Smith.
Yeah.
So. All right. That wraps up our start, bench, cut. Hopefully you enjoyed that little segment. You've got a trio that we missed. You can go ahead and let us know. Or you can tell us that we're so crazy on some of the ones we're going to bench, start, and cut because we're old and get off our lawns, and everybody loves the new analytics and LeBron James, this generation. You can go ahead and chime in and let us know what we got right and what we got wrong on anything of tonight's show. Next week, excuse me, we have a special guest, Mark Hafner. He's going to be joining us next week, and we are going to be doing what's called trios. And we are taking, this is a shout out to the Cover 3 Sports Football podcast, where I heard this was one of their mailbag questions, and I liked it a lot, and we can apply it to football, college football, and pro football, where we will take three, a quarterback, a wide receiver, and a running back from any team during any era. So it can be, if we wanted to say the Bengals, it can be, any wide receiver that the Bengals had, any quarterback, and any running back. And we're trying to come up with the three best players. And we'll have some debate and argument on that, I'm pretty sure, especially if we throw in Ohio State in there for Mr. Hafner. Because
I think you should throw Michigan in there.
Yeah, well, Michigan will be in there as well, obviously. But yeah, we'll see that. We'll see who, how it comes out, and we'll just throw out teams, and we'll see if we can come up with three of the best on the spot. So until next week, for Sam, who's not here, he should join us. He'll be joining us next week. And for Charlie, I am Dave. And until then, everybody have a wonderful week.
Take care.